everyone. Thank you for joining me on today's episode where we'll be addressing an issue with the vocabulary development of an ESL student. Later on, we'll be joined by Isabel Hernandez and her daughter, an ESL student, along with Mrs. Adams, the teacher of the ESL student. Thank you for joining me on today's Dr. Vocab show. I mentioned earlier, we're dealing with a struggling mother and her ESL student who is not developing her English vocabulary. The mother blames the teacher, Mrs. Adams, for what is happening. So can everyone please welcome Mrs. Adams, the ESL student's teacher. Welcome to the show, Mrs. Adams.
Hello, thank you. Hello, Dr. Vocab. Thank you for having me on your show today.
You're welcome. Of course. We would all like to figure out what the problem is.
Yes, me too.
And hopefully we can come up with a solution.
Yes, I agree. But I would just like to say that I think I have done everything I can to help my ESL students learn English.
I'm sure you have, but we want to make sure we hear every side of the story, which is why we brought Isabel Lopez, the mother of Priscilla, the ESL student you have.
Great. I can't wait to hear what she has to say.
So can we all please welcome Priscilla and Isabel.
Hello.
You two, how are you guys doing?
Well, I was doing great until now.
Estoy muy bien, pero tengo problemas con el inglés. Cuando llevo mi tarea a la casa no entiendo y los únicos que me ayudan son los estudiantes. La maestra no me ayuda.
See, Dr. Vocab, the issue here is that I have my daughter Priscilla. She's a second grader. She gets home, she has all this homework in English, and she can't finish it. She can never finish it because she doesn't know English. And sometimes her homework is translated in Spanish, but what's the point of that? What's the point of that if a student does not know English? And Miss Adams here, she does not do her job. She's not teaching her. I'm a hardworking mother, and I cannot be spending my time focusing on her homework.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Are you saying that it's not your job to help your daughter learn the English language?
Well, that's why she goes to school. That's why we have people like Miss Adams who are bilingual teachers. But, I mean, I guess.
Me? You're not gonna tell me how to do my job. I've done everything I can to make sure that your child learns English.
But it is your fault.
We apologize for the inconvenience, but due to both parties being extra aggressive today and security taking them away, we'll have to continue this episode. Welcome back to the Dr. Vocab show. So let me reintroduce Ms. Adams,
Hello.
Ms. Isabel Lopez,
Hi.
and the daughter, Mrs. Priscilla.
Hello.
Okay, so after doing some research and taking some notes on the topic, and everyone has expressed their side of the story, I would like to inform the audience about the 5 types of vocabulary knowledge. So for example, we have listening, which is when words are heard and understood. Then we have speaking, which are the words that are spoken, and reading, which is the words that we identify and understand when reading. We also have writing, which is the words we use in writing. And last, we have sight, which is the words we know by sight. And from the example and question I asked Mrs. Priscilla earlier, she understood me when I asked her how she was doing. Now, Mrs. Adams, I would like to know what kind of approach you use when you're teaching Ms. Priscilla.
Thank you. Well, I use reader-based instruction, which is basically where I emphasize word parts, for example, prefixes, suffixes, and root words. This way I can teach how the parts join together to form meaning. Also, this helps the students learn what the role of the word is. If it's a noun, if it's a verb, or if it's an adjective.
Okay, and that's all, Mrs. Adams? There's actually 2 more methods you missed.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I feel like I'm using the one that is most effective.
So now to the audience. Does anyone know the 3rd and final approach?
Oh, over here. My name is Akira and I'm an ESL teacher. There's actually one more approach, and it's called the interactive language learning approach. Students learn through active engagement to learn new vocabulary, and it helps students learn new vocabulary words through meaningful discussions before reading content.
Thank you very much. We'll be catching up with Mrs. Adams, Ms. Priscilla, and Mrs. Lopez in about 3 months to see what they have gained from this.
Welcome back to the story of a teacher, a student, and her mother. We're going to go see if their situation has changed. We're going into Miss Adams' classroom where she's having a parent-teacher conference with Isabella and her daughter.
Come in.
Hi. Do we have time for the conference right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing good, Miss Adams.
Good.
How is my child doing now after 3 months?
Well, first of all, I would really just like to say that I am so proud of Priscilla because she has improved tremendously.
I do see that her homework is getting a lot better. I actually quit my 4th job. I have been focusing on helping her out too because I know that
Thank you. That helps a lot.
I'm also responsible for her education. It's not all your fault, and I understand. And these strategies that you have been doing with her, like, have really been working out. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Priscilla, do you want to share the good news?
Yeah, I really think I'm ready for the 3rd grade.
Are you serious, honey?
And I think
Oh my
so,
God,
too.
I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. So I really feel like she is prepared to move on to the 3rd grade, and I just wanted to share a little bit with you of what we've been doing. Of course, we implemented all the advice that Dr. Vocab gave to us, but in addition to that, I am also using strategies before, during, and after the lesson. Before instruction, to build on their background knowledge. We're not starting from zero. We are building on what they already know, which helps a lot. During the lesson, I make sure that they are comprehending the vocabulary content, and then after, I assess them to make sure that they are comprehending everything. I'm using relevant material to them, to their culture, using biographical background as a means to teach. So all these things are helping a lot, and I'm very proud of her.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm
We've
really
come a
proud
long
of you
way.
as a teacher.
Thank you. Me too. Me too. Thank you so much, Dr. Vocab, for changing our lives.
Yes. Thank you. I have learned as a parent that I also need to put my part into my child's education. So thank you.
I have learned that there's more strategies to use than just one for our ESL students.
And I have learned new English vocabulary.
You're the best. Thanks.
Another successful story from Dr. Vocab. See you next time. On a very special episode where we'll be
And
Till now.
Excuse me? You're... I don't know what to say.
It's your fault.
Go.
Okay, start over.